see you. Testing everything. Hopefully, mic working. And let me check here over YouTube if we have sound. Yes, we're live. Great. Awesome. We're going to go here and test that we're actually live. I'll have to mute my mic. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. Yes, we're live. Great. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. That's good. So we've got sound. Are we on? I'm going to just close this guy. Facebook as well. Just refresh. Yes. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. So, Christmas music. Let's just play the song a couple of times as you chime in, and I'll be monitoring the chat. The plan is going to be when I play this song a couple of times maybe as you join in, and then I'll do a kind of like a deep dive. I don't think I'll have time to explain everything because I've got 1 hour or so, a little bit over 1 hour, and then I'll take some Q&A if you find some of these interesting and you have questions. So that being said, let's get started. Here we go. Awesome, fantastic. Got a little bit epic towards the end. You know, one can get carried away. But yeah, sound okay. In terms of like the audio, let me just check that everything went the way it was expected. Got a little bit epic towards the. Let's see. Yep. Awesome. All right. I love it. It's pretty. It's intention is for it to be kind of Christmasy. Very nice, Maria. Epic Christmas. Epic Christmas. Y próspero año nuevo. Okay. All right. So, let's do this. For those who are joining, let me see now. I would recommend either go back. I'll just play it again. Yep. one more time, and then let's dive into how many people. 25. Okay, cool. Since you've been joining halfway, I'm gonna play it once again. So it's pretty simple, right? So we've got the intro here, this guy. Then we have this, so this is intro kind of thing. Then we have turning on the camera. Give me just one sec. There you go. Okay. And then we've got section A, which is this guy here in 3/4. Which, if everything works correctly, yes, it's this kind of like this melody. Right, this guy. And then it repeats. So there's the section I just played. So A again, a little bit bigger, right? Which, by the way, I've been just testing these guys, which is the Essentials, Spitfire Essential. Some beautiful, like I oof. Haven't been using them for a while. I had them sent to me, the essentials for testing. I had the originals, the big version of this library, but it just reminded me of how good they sound. Anyway, so A, then it repeats again, A, and then we go to what? B, which is somehow contrasting. So end of A and B. Oops. And then so that's B. Then we repeat B again, and then we transit to, we have kind of like bridge or intro. Again, this is the intro, right? The dun 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 part of thing with the tubular bells, which comes back here. And then we go back to A. So A, B, B, and then back to A again. This time obviously more orchestrated. It's the finale, and it's going to be bigger. A again, and here A one more time. With all the, brass doing its thing in between the melody stops, like kind of thing, or the melody rests, with all the choir and all the string runs and cymbal swells and all the Christmasy, obviously the jingle bells and and all those things. Cool. Cool. Let's play one more time and then let's go. And I'm gonna be answering some questions. Okay, cool. How about note scales for this mood? Okay, let's dive into this in a second. Then were those horn riffs? I don't have any horn. Well, we'll get into this in a second. Let's play it back once again for context. And then, now that there's 28 of you, and then let's get started with Dive Deep. Here we go. This is the ending that you do when you're done. When you're like, I'm tired composing. So let's just leave it there. All right, cool, awesome. 27 of you. Let's go. Let's go for questions. So I'm gonna start with what about notes, scales, for this mood? It's very like it is not. It's major. So it's a major scale. It's orchestration what makes the mood and the kind of like this Christmassy, I would say fantasy, magic, joy type of sound. I'll get into it in right now. Very nice. Thank you, Tiberius. Thank you so much. So, but let's talk about the typical sound. I prepared a few slides here. So, let's just talk about Christmas music. Let's define the style real quick. And so, what I would say, it's Christmas is a way of fantasy, magic music. So we're going for the excitement, joy, curiosity, awe, playfulness, and so in terms of harmony melody here, I didn't use any kind of like more fantasy mode or anything like this. I didn't really use that much of a the typical harmonic Christmassy magic type of moves. Things like, for example, if I would have gone for something like, let's say piano here. Here, what is going on? Give me just 1 second. Everything's messed up. So first, boom, filters. I do not need this. There you go. I do not need this. That's the first thing. Second, I need to see the piano. Why am I not seeing the piano? I want to see the piano. What's going on? There you go, piano. Then I think, yes. We're getting there. Let's fix this and let's put it straight. Cool. Okay, and now background, this guy. Nice. Look at that. Fixed it. All right. So if you go for something like something like right. So 1, 2, 3, which is what is the yeah. Right? Like the Alan Silvestri's movie that I forgot the name, Polar Express. So right. Kind of thing. So not really. It's pretty. What we've got here is in F major. Here, this guy. I can do this. There you go. This guy. So that's 1, right? Not 1, and then we go to 4, and then to 1, and then we go to 5. Then we go to the 6 in this case. To be completely honest, I composed the intro, which sounds a little bit more Christmassy, right? Dun 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 dun, because of the orchestration. If we go here, I'll lower the volume as much as I can. But here we go. Piano, 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 piano. So I composed this, and then I was like, and now what? And I was like, I went for like something like, this works. Yes, I guess. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, this works. And I hit R, retrospective recording, and I recorded this like, let's go with this. So that, and then I it's like, okay, this doesn't sound that magical. Let's make it magical with orchestration, which is what we're gonna talk about. And so, and this is to answer your question, which is this part here. And so, yes, there are some melody harmony that works, that makes it sound more magical fantasy. Most of what I did was in the orchestration side of things, which is here. But to summarize this, what I would say is magic fantasy type of music, and especially Christmas music, which is all about joy and awe. It's when it comes to orchestration, to make it feel more magical. I think that the key or the secret is that like the ear candy things of the part of the orchestration that makes that. So we're talking, trills. We've got mark trees. We've got the celestas. All these bright type of. We've got the string rands. We've got the string figures. Things like, if we let me see, look at that. All this section here, for example, is what's gonna make it more. Maybe not this guy. This kind of thing is what's gonna add some magic to it, right? So, for example, without it, with it, see, all these. What other things? Obviously, the AABBAA, mark trees, the sleigh bells is going to add that Christmassy type of thing, obviously. So that's that. What's going on here? Oh, I see. It's weird. Okay. What else? Add the Christmassy feel to it. Obviously, the tubular bells. And that's it. That's for the first section. Then for this section, loud. What does it make it feel? This Chris, we've got the choir here. That's the end. That's one thing. Then we're gonna have the celesta helping the choir here, down here. No, not this guy here. No. No, it's a counterpoint to the choir. What's helping the choir is this builder, this guy here, the trill builder down here, which is this guy here, which does this. This guy, this guy's here. I'm gonna solo first. With the choir sounds like this. So that's what adds that magic thing that you're talking about. Without it, it sounds pretty standard or pretty just orchestral, pretty library music, I almost would say. If we remove that choir and we remove this kind of like celesta type of thing, this guy here. If we remove these things, then we lose kind of like the magic. So I would say when composing music like this, like 3 steps: number 1, sketch; second, orchestrate; and third, add the magic on top when it comes to orchestration. And obviously we can make it sound more magical just by the notes that we use. For example, if we were to come here, what is this? Nordic wire. Let me just remove all this. We can make it sound more magical fantasy just by using the... Let's go here. This is messed up. This was an initial idea that I didn't use. And so we could use some modes and some, scales, or some, typical magical harmonic progressions that work. But in this case, no. All the heavy lifting is the orchestration, if that makes sense. In this case, for this particular cue, that's what worked. The magical magic. Let's put it this way. Yeah. Other than that, there are other very typical Christmassy things, like for music like this, where the trombones and the trumpets doing their thing, like in this section here. Yeah, right, this kind of thing. Right, so it's very... Thank you. Having the counterpoint there with the trombones, that's registered. Got the bump ba jump ba here, I think, as well. Which, hey, by the way, this is a 3/4. Not all the Christmas carols or anything are 3/4, but there are some. Again, when I recorded the melody, it was a 3/4, and I tried to make it 4/4, and the beginning didn't quite work, so I kept it 3/4 here. So you see, this is a 3/4 feeling. And the section B, section A as well. Oh. But then when we restated the A again here, after this big intro, it's 4/4 this point. So there you go. More questions. So were those horn rips? There are no horn rips, but there are plenty of glissandos, like arp glissandos, string runs, and cymbal swells. Horn rips, not really. I don't have brass swells or things like this, but yeah, I've got plenty of, especially this section at the end. Let's see. Let's isolate everything so we've got all the cymbal swells here, the mezzo fortes and the fortes. We've got the arp glissando somewhere, arp glissandos here. Then we've got the string runs here, these guys here, boom, these string runs and trills. And then we've got all this good stuff there. So for arp glissandos, I use Spitfire. Where is it? Here. Where is it? This guy. For arp glissando, for cymbal swells, I use the old, not even updated patch here of this Spitfire percussion. I've got the updated, the new version, but again, a template evolves. This was loaded 12 years ago. It works, so the patch has not been updated. So this is for the forte, the mezzo fortes here. And then what else? I've got the string runs. This is cool. This is from Cine String Runs. It's great. Sounds great. And the tempo syncs. It's in Musio as well. And then old, super old library. I think this was the first original, like the first orchestral tools library. And you can see, you can build your own thing. So like this, we've got this 16th notes figure, and then you've got this trill thing with a fourth chant at the beginning. What's going on? And sorry. So it you build it like this. Why? Oh, I see. It was just 1 sec. Put it on. There you go. So I hope it makes sense here if I bring back this guy. And you can do things like this. So you're combining these two. So this is helpful for all the magic. This kind of thing is useful. So that's all the kind of like the sparkle and the glitter and the ear candy. Basically string brands. We got celestas and things like this. Obviously, we've got here what's the piano doing here? So for example, if we go to this section, we're gonna have the piano doing the dun 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 dun. So we're gonna have piano here. We're gonna have choir. So I think all these things are the things that add magic. What else? We're gonna have celesta as well, obviously here, and we're gonna have the arp doing tika 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 type of thing. This the slate bells as well, and the tubular bells. The tubular bells are Spitfire. The slate bells are Spitfire as well. The arp is a Spitfire as well. It's this part here. And then what else? The celesta is Spitfire as well. It's all percussion. The celesta, the tubular bell works great. Here's the celesta and tubular bell, because the celesta adds, so the celesta's here, and the tubular bell is down here. Where's the tubular bells? Where did it go? Somewhere. Tubular bells hidden behind. There you go. Here. Without the celesta, so celesta adds definition in the top end of the tubular bells, and also opens because the tubular bell sits a little. Well, I made it sit over the up here, over the right side, and the celesta over here. Tubular bells. There you go, and then celesta over the other side. I flipped the panning and I moved it over the other side. So flip the panning, and then move it over to just a little bit over the other side. It naturally sounds over the when you flip the panning over the left side, because the high notes of the celesta sound usually on the right side. Now we flip the panning and it sounds on the other side. So much more effective than actually panning it or balance to the right. So it's a stereo. So I went from stereo balance to stereo combined panner, and then I flip the panning, and then you have the celesta sounding on the other side because it's the highest pitch notes of the celesta. Yeah, that's that. I hope this answers your question. We could go more in depth, but choir as well. Just choir. Here I used some Musio, which is so nice. I just love to have so much to explore. And I've been, you know, I've got lots of libraries. I've been doing this for a few years now, and so you buy libraries, right? And you've got lots, but you don't. You sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I had this thing, and you're like, okay, I have to buy. But Museo has most of everything that I would need as a composer for this type of music, and so it's very very nice. I bought the the Get Museo for Life thing when they released it, and it's so nice. It's so nice. I love it. Very inspiring, touching stuff. Thank you. The sound is delicate and so pretty. Very nice, Mark. Thank you. Thank you. It surprised you how it got pretty big at the end, but didn't get messy in the coda. Aupa Mark. Arriba. Xavi. Thanks for joining. Home Alone, maybe. Yes. Oops. What instruments do you advise to use for Christmas songs? We just went over this. Hey, Fernando. Fernam, how are you? Hall reverberation or room warmth? Ooh, great question. Let's talk about reverbs. Hey, everyone. 7 Years of Hope. Hey, how are you? Yes, that's a great one as well. I'm normally afraid to use runs with libraries because they normally end up sounding very synthetic in strings and woodbooks alike. But to be honest, but it really adds the spark to the texture and have to agree. Yes, yes, they do sound very synthetic. I will say they sound much better than trying to recreate the run yourself for sure. But yes, it sounds very synthetic. Those runs got recorded at 80 BPM, and they are being triggered at 130, which makes it even more synthetic. One thing that helps a lot, in my opinion, is hiding the most synthetic part of it. So just so if I have something like this, you see that they have lots of automation because it will sound like this, right? Here. But if I do, or this guy. Okay, but if I, for one, it sounds a little bit better. Second, we hide some of the most synthetic parts, and third, we just in the mix, what we're going to hear is the part we want to hear most. So it's just the tip of right? Kind of of the effect of the run. We don't need to hear the entire thing, so it'll just show. Super tiny. Sometimes we don't even hear it, but it's on purpose. Because yes, if you expose them too much, same thing. Yeah, I agree. But still way better than trying to recreate it yourself. But the question was reverbs. So hall reverb or room reverb, the combination of both plus some more things. I'll show my preprobes in a second. Do you separate the articulations in instrument or do you add them to the same track in the automation? It depends. Sometimes it's a combination of both. Some tracks that are loaded here, I've got all the kind of short articulations, for example, and some other tracks, it's separated. But I would say a majority of my template, 80% of the tracks loaded are key switch based, but I do separate the short articulations and the long articulations. For example, here, see trombone solo short articulations, and that trombones ensemble short articulations, and I've got the short staccato, the mid staccato, the long staccato, etc. Right? For things like this. And then I've got the long articulations and the same thing with the strings. See here, I've got the violins one long notes. And then I've got the short articulations here. Cool. Comes with lots of latency because I've got the CSS, this guy, the control panel activated, and so that's, well, it's configured to add minus 330 milliseconds of latency. Reverbs. Let's talk about reverbs. I promised that I kept. So yeah, here we reverbs. Hello. So these are my reverbs set up here. By the way, I lost these guys. This my iLog keeps disconnecting, which is a anyway. So I've got a series of reverbs. So I've got a short gated reverb, which is this guy here. I use AABBAA rooms for this one with this configuration. I've got another short reverb. This one is FabFilter Pro R. The short gated reverb I use it for kind of like top of the mix percussion, like celeste, shakers and things like this. And it's a gated reverb. It works very well with high pitched percussion. Then I've got a medium hall here. This I use for percussion and things like this. I've got a hall. Use this one for piano. Then I've got this kind of like a scoring stage type of sort of like a hybrid convolution reverb type of thing. Then I've got the cinematic rooms. This is the dark cathedral that I use. This is kind of like my main orchestral reverb. This is the one that I use the most for most orchestral instruments when it needs an immersive, big long reverb. It's not huge long. It is, contained kind of like 2.3 seconds long reverb. It's a dark cathedral preset with a little bit of tweaking. And then I've got the another one that they use main, like another kind of like main orchestral one, which is the AABBAA rooms with the precasted concert hall preset with a few modifications. You can see here the configuration. You can take some screen grabs and try it by yourself. Then I'll explain that. So these are the configurations, and then I'll explain what what goes where, etc. What is this? Oh yeah, for kind of like for legato strings and things like this, legato high strings. I use this one, which is the legato hall preset. It's a 2.3. And for low legato lines like cellos and things like this, I like this score stage. It's a 2.2 with a little bit of a faster decay in the mid lows that I like for when I need to add reverb the kind of the mid low sections like cellos, etc. I use this the old IR1 for it's a hall reverb, nice even decay. It's a 2-second decay. I use this for brass. I like it, just like it. And then finally got AABBAA room again. What is it? Oh yeah, these are like for the super long reverb, like the 7-second thing when I want like a really long reverb. And so you can see here, for example, let's take the strings. Strings will generally I'll hit first with a little bit of with a little bit of kind of like convolution reverb. This is seventh heaven, the score stage one that I showed you earlier, and then I'll hit them again with orchestral long high with so first a kind of like a convolution reverb to simulate something like a scoring stage, and then I'll have something, depends on the cue, but then I'll have something that is an algorithmic like hall type of reverb or cathedral type of reverb depending and then sometimes I need like a super long extra addition, and I automate this one for the strings. Sometimes at the end I'll automate it up for like a longer tail, and then in the more busy sections I'll bring it down. But yeah, just generally a convolution reverb first that simulates a scoring stage type of thing, and then a hall or cathedral depending on what it's needed. But yeah, and I use different reverbs for different sections. This will create separation. By the way, one trick that helps create that helps the reverbs not getting messy is to before and after the reverbs to have a little bit of EQ before this goes before the reverb. So I cut at around 100. It's a 12 dBs per octave cut, and then I cut a little shelf down a little bit, it's at 10K. And this is nice. This helps. This makes this is great. But what it really helps a lot is having this dynamic EQ after the reverbs. So at 100, 252, 609, 1918, 50, 42, and then finally this one at 10,000 cycles. And this is dynamic. Let me see if let's see if we can find a busy reverb. And oops, come on. So I hope here we've got one that's here. See that in the busy parts. The problem with that reverb is that generally you load the reverb, then you play the piano, and it's like, oh, so beautiful. Then when the other things come into the mix, the strings, or whatever, right? Then it starts getting messy, and you lose clarity. This helps a lot. More questions. 6:31. I may need to leave in about 15-20 minutes. Museo has blown my mind recently. Again, yeah. Sorry. Again, I agree. Yes, me too. Me too. Very useful. It's just very useful. It's not like what, $9.99 a month. I get nothing out of promoting Mustia. It just is very useful. Hey, Arjit here. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Long time, man. Yeah, long time. It's great to reconnect. Sounds heavenly. Thank you. Nice from you that you shared this song with us. I'm happy. Like, if this helps, I'm happy that this helps. Hey, Bara, how are you? That's awesome. Do you put the entire final song on YouTube channel? Okay. I can. Yeah, I can do a video. Let me know. Let me know what would be. What would you like to see? I thought I had several ideas of how could we make an interesting YouTube video out of this. I thought of number one. Let's see, doc.new. Let's go. I thought something like number one could be something like how to compose Christmas music, kind of like three steps kind of thing, like the orchestral Christmas sound formula sort of thing. So sketch, orchestrating, and then adding the magic on top, and we're talking orchestration. So, and I could show like five examples, right? And I could show 5 examples of this cue, like this one. Okay, here's the sketch, here's the orchestration, here's the magic added on top, and then this one, and then maybe this one. So I could do this. So that's one idea. Let me know what you think. Then I thought also as well for deep dive, like what we're doing now, deep dive. I also thought from beginning to end. So how to compose a Christmas song from beginning to end. Step number 1, intro. Step number 2, kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I thought. I think yeah. I also thought that I can explain the behind the scenes of like all the like the nitty gritty. Okay, this is the exact balance. This is the exact reverb. This is the panning, the positioning. The kind of like what makes the music sound good. Um, which is not all the backend and all the plugins that I've got loaded there, everything, right? And how this affects the color, everything. So I thought about that. Let me know if any of these would be useful for you. More. Would you use external reverbs for a library like the ones from performance samples to have a lot of reverb already? That have a lot of reverb already. More than the glued. Generally, yes. So when I'm using a library that has lots of reverb, what I find myself doing is just three things. Number one, I tweak the decay of that reverb just a little bit to get rid of a little bit of the reverb tail, because it's just too much at sometimes for it to blend with the rest of the libraries. That's the first thing. Second, not but very subtle. Maybe maybe just a tad. Push the not the like the spot mics, but the close mics. I push them up a little bit and I bring down like the room mics. If there are surround mics, I may bring them down. So trying to adjust the sound just to control the sound a little bit in a way that still sounds natural, or we still have the feel of that big space. So that's what I do. And then number three, yes, I add some reverb on top, just like the same reverb that I added to the other strings, let's say, to make them feel part of the same thing. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, good question. Cinematic composing is very, very, very cool. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Mark, sounds great, as always. Have a question, not related to today's video. I finally decided to switch to Cubase, although I have been thinking about Nuendo too. Recently I've taken WY's course, awesome, and I am hoping to be working on a game soon. What do you recommend? Game jams. That's what I would recommend to get started. I switched to Cubase or Nuendo as the electric one has already is implemented built-in. I don't know. Yes. If you are starting from scratch, I would go with Nuendo. Because you have to learn the whole thing, and Nuendo has the WYs built in it, so I would go for it. I would go with it with Nuendo. It's a great question. Okay, hey Mark, thank you for this live. What is the name of this bell-like instrument that sounds like a little tambourine? You find it in every Christmas, and I wondered. Yeah, that's the good question. This guy over here. These guys. This guy, these late bells. And what I did in this particular day, so in this library, there's this version of it, and then this version of it. So I duplicated the tracks, and I put one over the left, and the other one like this, and the other one. So this is the left, and then this would sound over the left as well because it's panned. What is going on? Yeah, it's panned here over the left. See, so this one would sound over the left as well. But then I duplicated the track, and I moved it here. So and then I use this one over the other side. And so when you have both of them, you've got a bigger, wider sound that cuts through the mix a little bit better. Like this. And it goes, yeah, and it keeps going. must have if you wanna do Christmas music. Like if I just added that, that would automatically uh, make it sound more Christmassy. Where's my chat? Chat, thank you. I'm gonna put this over here. Let's go back here. Let's bring it back. Good. Hope I can see how you mix in 5.1. I don't mix in 5.1, unfortunately. Mixing engineer does this for me. My mix is, I end in a stereo. I submit the stems to Mixed Up, and if they do the movie in 5.1, then they do the work there. If the music release needs to be done like as kind of like an Atmos or 5.1 or something, then I would send individual tracks for someone like Dennis or someone like to create the 5.1 or the Atmos. All right. I think we're good. There's a few more people joining, so I'm gonna play back the whole thing again, and then if you've got any question, please let me know. I've got 5 to 10 more minutes, I think. So here we go. Dang! I was muted. What? Ah! Sorry. Thank you. No se oye. Thank you, guys. I was saying that. Dang. Sorry, sorry for the mistake. Yeah, I was just talking about strings in octaves here at the end with horns. That's what we've got, and then at the end we've got strings in double octaves. See, double 1 and 2 octaves here. This is cinematic studio strings plus horns, a little bit overpowered. The horns just a tad too loud on purpose. No, this is a trumpet. Horns are here. See, this is a trick as well in this type of music that keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. There's a moment there's just not more space to grow. Like literally, like I'm talking literally, no more space to grow. It's hitting the ceiling, right? And so the typical trick is to make it appear to be louder at the beginning of the phrase and then slightly bring it down so the listener doesn't feel like, oh, but it's subtle going down, and then the next one you hit harder again, right? Just the beginning. See that the horns are louder notes here. See how I'm pushing modulation and expression just a little bit, and see how it's a little bit too, like even you could say a little bit too much at the beginning, like, but it's just so in relative if we compare, it feels like, oh, we're growing, but then you know in a subtle way you bring it down again. See, this is big already, this part here. But when this phrase ends and the horns come in, you'll see the horns are a little bit too loud, you would say, but it kind of like pushes the mix up a little bit, and then we go down again. So the next time if we were to grow bigger, then we can grow bigger again. Those two notes, it's what it's like, oh my gosh, it's so good, right? For the listener point of view, it's like, oh, it's growing, we're going even bigger, right? Just these two notes is what are making the trick. So the horns continue to be there, obviously, but are not that loud. That would be too much. If we had the horns that loud, it would be a problem. So that's a trick right there. And so that's what I was saying: strings in octaves, horns, and then I was also talking about. We also have a choir here. In this case, this is boxer. This is way too high in register. This in F major, kind of like in C sharp or D. Something like this would have been better, especially for choir. It goes way too high, but I was like, let's just go there. And so that's why what I was talking about is like I mixed. So for the sopranos legato, I mixed O's with A's at the same time because that high in register, it's just too high. They sound too thin. So sometimes I'll mix A's and O's just to thicken the sound. It's overkill because these patches are like 300 and 300 megabytes. It's one of the patches, so it's overkill. But for this one, that's what I did. So let me see. Let me show you the difference between just O's or A's. And so see the super long reverb. Which can be way too much. But for choir, sometimes it can work. Depends. It's automated, and there are parts of the phrase where it's more, and some parts of the phrase where it's less reverb. But this is the super long reverb that I was talking about, the Valhalla 7 seconds one, and for things like this will work. It's an extreme case in here, but it's a sound that sits very behind in the mix, both in the position and also level. So no big no problem. This is not the library that I was using. It was Boxers. Okay, this guy. Okay. I think we're gonna be we're done for today. Let me see if any oops any final question here. Yeah, love the melody. Landing on the third, exactly. Landing on the third. Always makes the magic. Fede, ¿cómo han ido las vacaciones? Good to see you back. All right. Cool. Very good for today. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. 34. Thank you so much for joining. As I always say, I appreciate you being there. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here in front of you. Talking about nerdy stuff that we like to talk about. It's been a blast. Have a wonderful day. Have a great rest of the week. I may do that YouTube video that you mentioned. And yeah, have a great week and see you in the next one. Bye bye. See ya.